Welcome to the New Brunswick Board of Education meeting. I'm going to begin by reading the opening announcement. Adequate public notice of this meeting was provided by the Secretary of the Board on March 2nd, 2018 to the Home News Tribune and the Clerk of the City of New Brunswick. The time and location of this meeting and all meetings of this body are posted in City Hall, 78 Byard Street, New Brunswick. Mr. General, will you do the roll call, please?
Mr. Hush. Mrs. Sadowski. Here. Mrs. Seawood. Here. Mrs. Shutitis. Here. Mrs. Solis. Here. Mr. Spencer. Here. Mr. Varela. Here. Mr. Ortiz. Here. Dr. Caldwell.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great. Dr. Johnson, will you lead us in the flag salute?
Ready to salute?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. A reminder, the regular monthly Board of Education meeting will be held on Tuesday, June 19, 2018, beginning at 7 p.m. here at the Brunswick High School in the auditorium. Is there a motion to accept the April 17 monthly board meeting minutes? So moved. Second. Roll call. Mr. General.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood. Mrs. Shutitis.
Yes.
Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela.
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Now we have an item that's not on the agenda, a presentation, and I'll turn it over to you.
Yes, good evening. I would like to ask Assistant Superintendent Ms. Scusa, as well as our Director of Bilingual Education, Dr. Fontanes, to come up. This evening we presented the Seal of Biliteracy awards or certificates to about 49 of our high school students who have worked really hard this year to earn this Seal of Biliteracy.
Good evening, everyone. Board of Education members, school administrators, parents, students, and staff. We are here tonight to recognize and congratulate our New Brunswick students of graduating class 2018 who have earned the New Jersey State Seal of Biliteracy. The Seal of Biliteracy provides recognition to our high school seniors who are able to demonstrate a high level of proficiency in one or more languages in addition to English. These 49 high school seniors who are here tonight have passed the approved assessment for the Seal of Biliteracy in English and another language. The New Jersey Seal of Biliteracy includes a certificate prepared by the New Jersey Department of Education and an appropriate insignia affixed to the student's high school transcript. This seal provides evidence of linguistic skills that are appealing to future employers and college admissions offices. Tonight, we will award our senior students with the Seal of Biliteracy Honor Cord, which they will wear at their graduation ceremony. As our students wear their well-deserved blue and gold honor cords, we should be reminded of our district's vision to prepare, empower, and inspire lifelong learners and leaders. As blue represents our school district and gold represents success and empowerment. Finally, I would like to say that New Brunswick Public School District is committed to continue to maintain and support our students' first and second language development, and we are very proud to honor these students for their outstanding achievement. Congratulations to all 49 students. They have proven that hard work and dedication certainly pays off. Well done.
miembros de la Junta de Educación, directivos, padres, estudiantes y personal docente. Estamos aquí esta noche para reconocer y felicitar a nuestros estudiantes de la escuela secundaria de New Brunswick que se van a graduar de la clase de 2018 y que han obtenido el sello estatal de lectura y alfabetización bilingüe de New Jersey. El sello de lectoescritura bilingüe brinda reconocimiento a los estudiantes de último año de la escuela secundaria que pueden demostrar un alto nivel de competencia en uno o más idiomas además del inglés. Estos 49 estudiantes del último año de secundaria que están aquí esta noche aprobaron la evaluación para obtener el sello de lectoescritura bilingüe en inglés y en otro idioma. El sello de alfabetización bilingüe de New Jersey incluye un certificado preparado por el Departamento de Educación de New Jersey y una insignia adherida a la libreta de calificaciones del estudiante. Este sello proporciona evidencia de habilidades lingüísticas que son atractivas para futuros empleadores y oficinas de admisión universitarias. Esta noche premiaremos a nuestros estudiantes de último año con el cordón de honor del sello de lectoescritura bilingüe que usarán en la ceremonia de graduación. Mientras nuestros alumnos visten sus bien merecidos cordones de honor de color azul y dorado, debemos recordar nuestra visión del distrito: preparar, capacitar e inspirar a los estudiantes y líderes para toda su vida, ya que el azul representa nuestro distrito escolar y el color oro representa el éxito y la capacitación académica. Finalmente, me gustaría añadir que el Distrito de las Escuelas Públicas de New Brunswick se compromete a continuar manteniendo y apoyando el desarrollo del primer y segundo idioma de nuestros estudiantes y nos orgullece en honrar a estos estudiantes por sus logros sobresalientes. Felicitaciones a los 49 estudiantes aquí presentes que han demostrado que el trabajo arduo y la dedicación traen sus beneficios. Muchas felicidades. So we'll call one student at a time. I will invite the students to come to the stage, receive their award, and remain on the stage so we can take a picture at the end of the ceremony. Voy a invitar a los estudiantes, uno a la vez, para que vengan al escenario a recibir el cordón de honor y se queden en el escenario para que al final podamos tomar una fotografía. Gema Acevedo. Maradeli Amaro López. Genesis Barahona Martínez. Sharon Calderón Rodríguez. Caleb Chaparro Salas. María Collado Matías. Juana de Lao Sales. Gabriela Díaz Ferreiras. Iván Domingos Luna. Rosnelly Durán Esteves. Alexander Esteves Ventura. Laura Flores Antunes. Yancy Flores Flores. Patricia Flores Martínez. Zaira García. Maite Garquica Reyes, Wilson Gómez, Ashley Gómez Peralta, Citlali Hernández García, Christopher Undes, Dalbert Inestrosa Fuentes, Cindy Lara Trejo, Melissa Lima, Carlos López López, Mixti Luna Florencio, Belki Machado, Ashley Maldonado Ramos, Jennifer Miguel Torres, Olga Miranda Munciaga, Jesús Narváez Vázquez, Zulmi Orozco Orozco, Alexis Palomo, Beira Paz Fuentes, Wilmer Peña Valdés, Geraldine Naceli Pérez Hernández, Yoelis Reyes Rosario, María José Reyes Santos, Suani Rodríguez, Alexa Rodríguez Torres, Eric Rojas, Kimberly Romero Rivera, Anibel Taveras, Jesús Tineo Jimimián, María Urrutia Mencía, Lisbeth Valdés Gabot, Ayeli Valdés Nivar, Carly Villatoro, Yesenia Villegas Robledo y Jamie Zúñiga. Is there anybody who arrived late and should have been called to the stage? Si alguien ha llegado tarde y debe estar en el escenario, pueden acercarse, por favor. So once again, congratulations to all these 49 students. They have proven that hard work and dedication pays off. Felicidades a estos 49 estudiantes aquí presentes que han demostrado que el trabajo arduo y la dedicación trae sus beneficios. Muchas gracias.
We're just so very proud of our students. To be proficient in multiple languages will prepare them for the future. This is a world of many languages, and it's getting smaller, so this is a great accomplishment. So as they're going back to their seats, we'll move on to the superintendent's report. Dr. Johnson?
Yes, for the month of April, there were 73 district-wide suspensions, 6 cases of harassment, intimidation, and bullying. Our May student enrollment was 10,249. Our April student attendance was at 95%, and our certificated staff attendance was at 96%.
Is there a motion to accept the superintendent's report? Second? Roll call, Ms. General.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood. Mrs. Shakaitis.
Yes.
Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela. Ms. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Item number 5, we don't have a student representative report, I don't think. So we'll move to item number 6, Facilities Committee report. Mr. Spencer.
Okay, Mr. President. First, I want to thank everyone who voted for us and everyone that did not vote for us. The important point is that residents voted regardless of the numbers of registered voters. Again, we want to thank you and your belief of us. We represent the entire community, and we will ensure our students get the best education. We understand that there are thoughts of transparency in our board. We are sworn to uphold our positions with the understanding that we have to adhere to the policies set before us. The policies and ethics regulations that we adhere to prevent us from discussing personal, legal, and other confidential issues. If we do not adhere to the policies and ethics regulations, it will lead to serious violations. Let me read and I want to thank everyone that came out to vote. The monthly report. Presently at the Administration Building at Oak Learning Center, Youth Corps has initiated painting throughout the administration's buildings. E&J, our electrical contractors, LLC, installed new floor outlets for central office conference room. Train US Inc. replaced the HVAC compressor as required. All work has been completed. Lord Sterling Community School hot water heater is installed. Paul Robeson's Community School for the Arts is ongoing construction. Meetings are being held at the school job site. The Brunswick Middle School, ramp and flooring replacement planning. Shore Point Architect is designing a new weight room. We're still looking into that. Mahor LLC, service hot water control, all repairs are completed. The Brunswick High School, a proposal was provided for a soccer field fence. This is to prevent soccer balls from traveling into surrounding property. New netting was quoted for damaged sections in baseball field. Red Shore Elementary School, Eagle Equipment Company, service compactors. Livingston Elementary School, Bogus Inc. performed a smoke test for bathroom ventilation. All work was completed during the spring break. General maintenance district-wide. We're continuing efforts with Onyx, Renewable Partners, LP, to design and install additional solar panels, roof-mounted, and parking lot system. The schools that we're looking at to expanding the solar panels are as follows. The Administration Building, Adult Learning Center, solar carport will be built out there. Lincoln Annex, rooftop solar. Roosevelt, rooftop solar. Paul Robeson, rooftop solar. High school, solar carport. Middle school, solar carport. Red Shore, solar carport. We are moving forward with the expansion of our solar panel project. We currently have solar panels, as I cited, at 7 of our schools presently. Excuse me, we currently have solar panels at 7 of our schools. In 2017, we generated approximately 3.4 million kilowatt hours of electricity at an average savings of 7 cents per kilowatt over the utility company's rates. We estimated our savings to be approximately $240,000. With this solar panel expansion, we will be adding solar panels at 4 new locations and enlarging 3 current locations, which I mentioned. The annual production is expected to increase by 2.2 million kilowatt hours, giving the district an additional projected savings of $160,000, totaling approximately $400,000 in savings. The next item I wanted to discuss is the water testing. History is important in many ways. It provides information to better understand the issues of the past and understand the issues of today. A case in point, the lead water issue, for instance, as read in the New Jersey Supply Systems Report, is as follows. New Jersey water supply systems were constructed largely during peak periods of the development, primarily from 1890 to 1930, when major cities grew, and from 1950 to 1970, when the suburbs added roughly 3 million people drinking water. Treatment plants were largely built or rebuilt in the 1980s and after, in response to the federal Safe Drinking Water Act and complementary state legislation. This information was provided to us through the record card for New Jersey Infrastructure website link, which you can access through the New Brunswick Public Schools. History of lead water in testing in New Brunswick Public Schools. In September 2004, there was a complaint made of the air quality at Lincoln School. Testing was done on the air quality in the water in September 2004. All faucets that exceeded allowable levels of 20 parts per billion were remediated due to the Lincoln School having elevated levels. The district decided to test all of our New Brunswick schools in the summer of 2005, including retesting Lincoln School. Faucets that came back over the allowable levels were remediated. The district retested all of the schools in 2009 and remediated all faucets. In 2016, the district tested all schools that were over 5 parts per billion, and the allowable levels were 15 parts per billion. All faucets above allowable levels were remediated in 2017. The district will now retest this summer to ensure that all faucets are remediated. Mr. President, this concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer, for that very, very thorough and comprehensive report. Really appreciate it. Item number 7, the Policy Committee report. Mr. Benito Ortiz.
Yes, Mr. President. The Policy Committee did not meet for the month of May. We will resume the committee for the month of June. No other information.
Thank you, Mr. Ortiz. Item number 8, the Athletic Committee report. Ms. Sadowski.
Thank you, Mr. President. Athletic Committee met earlier this afternoon. In attendance was Mr. Spencer, Mr. Ortiz, myself, and Ms. Solis sat in for Mr. Hush today. Some of the old business and some exciting business is one of our students from the Health Science High School, Ramiro Osuna, has been awarded a scholarship to Wilkes College for wrestling. The middle school weight room, Mr. Spencer touched on that, and there's been some other issues with that. It's something that's going to be looked into further. New business, the NJSIAA Scholar Athlete from New Brunswick High School was Raymer Arias. The GMC, which is the Greater Middlesex Council, Scholar Athlete was, excuse me if I mispronounce, I don't mean to, Mighty Reyes and Christopher Martinez. The GMC Sportsmanship was Rose Jimenez Ruiz and Williams Mahia. Congratulations to them. Mr. Lowry, our athletic director, has been getting a lot of inquiries about a school store. A lot of students are asking for paraphernalia, I guess with zebras on it. That's something we're going to work on and look into. I know there's a lot out there for alumni. Some of our alumni sell this jackets and sweatshirts and that, but we're going to look into it for the students, and hopefully we'll have something maybe by September. A new website is going to be used for our athletics program, and it's going to be in conjunction with the GMC. So if there is a schedule change and it has to be, say, rain like today, or any other kind of inclement weather, they'll be able to post it immediately, and it will go out to everyone in the GMC. Possibility of a marching band is going to be in the works, so we're going to be working on that this summer. The sports banquet will be held on June 14th at 2018, 6 p.m. right here in the NBHS cafeteria. The high school sports, baseball was, we're finishing up their season today, and hopefully they won, but right now their record stands at 4-13. Our golf team didn't do as well. Softball, the ladies had 4 wins. In tennis, we only had 1 win. Track was 3-2, and those were dual meets. Middle school sports, baseball, softball, and track all had winning programs. Our athletic director did not have the exact amount. And then just a little bit of a year-end review. Some of the things that we concentrated on this year, and our students that are athletes know about it. And for the incoming freshmen and the sophomores and juniors that will be rising up, remember it is a 2.0 GPA, and there are consequences if you don't maintain a 2.0 GPA, and that is why we provide the Play It Smart study hall. So I suggest that everybody get their grades in order, and the consequence is you don't play. We're here for the academics and the athletics, but the academics is the most important. Middle school study hall has also been implemented for the athletes. Our winter sports, there was the first annual Girls Christmas Basketball Tournament, which was very successful. We reinstated the Martin Luther King Jr. Round Ball Classic on Dr. King's birthday, also successful. And the first annual Winter Shot Put Classic, 3 dates, and each meet was bigger. In the spring, it was the first annual Zebra Invitational track meet, and 12 teams were there. We've had individual athletes that have been very, very successful in track this year. We have started a boys volleyball intramural, as that was requested by some of our students. It will be intramurals for the next 2 years, and then we will be able to go to a JV team and then move up to varsity. So far, the volleyball has been being held on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 2:30 p.m. to 5 p.m., and we have 30 young men that are out for our intramural volleyball. Future plans for next year, middle school, fall, winter cheerleading, restructure of some Play It Smart positions, and that would be the responsibilities of Play It Smart, scheduling, and having the coaches impact more on some of our other students. Some of you may know, the state of New Jersey has instituted a mandatory opioid abuse education workshop for all athletes. That will be starting again this year in the fall. And that's about it for our year-end wrap-up. Thank you to all our students that have participated in athletics, and we wish you an upcoming great summer, and we see you back on the playing fields again in September. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. I always forget it. The bank reconciliation. I need a motion to accept that.
Second. Okay, roll call, Ms. Banner.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood.
Yes.
Mrs. Shukitis.
Yes.
Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela. Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes,
Motion approved.
and thank you, Mrs. Sadowski, for that very comprehensive report. We'll move on to the Curriculum Committee report, Mr. Ortiz.
Yes, the curriculum committee met on May 14th. There were no presentations before the committee. We did give approval of curricula and/or textbooks for the bilingual language, arts/ESL grades 9 through 10. And other business we talked about were 13 resolutions, of which we approved and had added to the consent agenda resolutions, which will be voted on later on down the road.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Mr. Ortiz, for that excellent report. Now, Public Relations Committee report, Ms. Solis.
Thank you, Mr. Caldwell. I'd like to start out by acknowledging Ms. Marcy Corton. She's a Community Partner of the Year, honored by Rutgers Collaborative Center for her dedication towards her students and maintaining effective partnerships in the community. Also, New Brunswick High School senior Tahiri Rahoman nominated her math teacher, Ms. Lynn He, for the Barnes & Noble Nationwide My Favorite Teacher contest. The pair were honored recently at a reception in East Brunswick. School Principal Day was held on May 1st. New Brunswick High School Chamber Choir performed recently. Sorry, I can't make out who it was that they performed with Ms. Sadowski. The Canterville Chamber Chorale. On April 27th, New Brunswick Health Sciences Technology High School held their annual Techies Got Talent show. On April 27th, McKinley Community School planted a new tree for with the City of New Brunswick Division of Parks and Shade Tree. The school's environmental club recited an amazing poem about the importance of trees. On April 17th, the New Brunswick Sweeps Up for Urban Cleanup picked up 1,600 pounds of litter cleaned up from New Brunswick city streets. James Jackson of Paul Robeson Community School for the Arts was selected as one of Magic 98.3's Teachers Who Make Magic. The senior awards ceremony will be held Wednesday, May 30th. This is for New Brunswick Health Sciences Technology High School. It's going to be held here at 6:30 p.m. The 2018 New Brunswick High School Athletic Hall of Fame induction dinner will take place on Saturday, May 19th. This is Special Education Week. And I also wanted to mention a special acknowledgement that happened recently at the Institute for Learning conference in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. There were 5 administrators, Ms. Kira Scusa, our Assistant Superintendent for Curriculum and Instruction, and our Superintendent, Dr. Aubrey Johnson, were there. Dr. Johnson was recognized for, as an ambassador for his work to support the outstanding learning in our district. And there was a short video that we would have loved to have played for everyone, just acknowledging the outstanding work that Dr. Johnson has done in our district thus far. Unfortunately, we weren't able to play that. Hopefully, at our next meeting, we'll be able to pull that up. But we would like to thank you for the work that you do, and you definitely deserve the recognition, Dr. Johnson. And that, Dr. Caldwell, concludes my report.
Thank you, Ms. Lees, for that excellent report. Some great reports. Item number 11, the Educational Services Commission of New Jersey. I'm just so proud of that organization as chair that, for those who don't know, it works with students who are have emotional challenges, who have special needs, and who are multiply disabled. And one of the things that's really coming out of that is the power of artificial intelligence. Now, we've talked a lot about coding, but artificial intelligence is not the future anymore, it's here. And folks who have some special learning needs are able to code now, with coding programming, they can program things. The programs can follow people's eyes, they can do things, and so the commission is really becoming a leader at really using some of this AI, artificial intelligence, to really enhance the learning process for all students. So it's just wonderful that all students can learn in this new world. And so that's my report. So I'll move on to item number 12. I just got here at 7 because I was at the annual Education Law Center's annual food tasting, a celebration of public education. And the Education Law Center is something that we should all appreciate because they were the group that actually brought what was called the Abbott lawsuit to make sure that the funding was fair among districts who are economically challenged as well as wealthy districts. And they have had this, I don't know how many years, but it's just a wonderful celebration of education. And again, I'm proud of this district, so I actually stood up at the panel and really talked about some of the wonderful things we're doing here in New Brunswick, but also talking about the challenges of being in a district that is economically challenged. And we've been able to really work and try to level the playing field, but it is difficult. And it's wonderful actually to see the parents who are staying here for the meeting, and what we're really trying to do is engage parents in new and exciting ways. And the best way to do that is to really hear from parents. To really, we want to understand, how can we serve you? How can we help you support the education of your child at home? Dr. Johnson and I throughout the state have really talked about about the voice that you're giving students' voice and parents' voice. And so I think as we move the idea of really having parents and students and district together as a partnership, which I know is your vision, is exciting. So I applaud you for that, and I thank you all for staying. So with that, give yourselves a round of applause. So often we're here, people can't wait to get out the door. It's nice that you're staying and hearing, and that's a testament to you folks. All right, now we'll move to item number 13, where we have public comments. Are there any public comments? If so, please come to the mic and state your name and address. The microphone back there, so we can hear you. Welcome.
I'm sorry. Hi, I'm Melody Williams. This is Melody. My name is Melody Hall.
Welcome.
Okay, really quickly, the superintendent, can you explain to me what's your ideal teacher? Like, what makes a good teacher?
Me gustaría preguntarle al superintendente si podría describir qué es una maestra ideal o un profesor ideal.
That's a real tough question, but I'll just be brief. Teachers come in many different shapes and forms. Sometimes what we teach today may be totally different from what we teach tomorrow. But it's the ability to adapt and change based on the kids that you're working with each and every day. It's the ability to make a difference in a child's life, regardless of where they are, as long as you make some type of improvement that will guide them to be great citizens here in this country.
Okay. I'm here on behalf of Jennifer Severs. Can you stand up real quick, please? Okay, okay. So basically, your job is to make New Brunswick a better place, right? So I'm wondering why you guys are firing her or not rehiring her when she's doing that, and like when she's helping you guys out. For instance, I'm sorry?
Yeah, we can't talk about any personnel issues in public. That's always private.
Okay, no problem. I understand that, but just where I'm coming from is that she helped me a lot, and sorry, I'm trying to relax.
That's a good thing. Take your time. I appreciate you being here.
A ella le gustaría saber por qué han despedido a la profesora Severs y está aquí para pedir una justificación y quiere decir de que la profesora la ha apoyado bastante y se puso muy emocionada.
Okay, all I have to say is, how would you feel if you get fired and you didn't know? Everything happens for a reason, right? And if you cannot specify that reason, I feel that is clearly unprofessional. But of course you may say, hey, this is life. We are supposed to prepare our students, right? And you said that 96% of your teachers attend school. But yet, do you know that those 4% of those teachers are English teachers, math teachers, geometry teachers, and science teachers, and they're not here? So what are we supposed to do as students? And you're supposed to prepare your students. Yet you clearly have a teacher here who is clearly preparing her students, but now she's not able to, but now she won't be able to because you're firing her. So what happens to our grades when those teachers aren't here? We have PARC, right? Our PARC scores can be low, but does the college scores know that our teachers was absent? They don't know that. They don't know that our teachers weren't here. But yet you still have those teachers attending school. Those teachers have been absent for 3 months, 2 months. But yet we're still here, and then we have no work. There's substitutes. Yeah, all they're doing is substituting. They're not teaching us anything. Did you know about that 4%? Or are you just worried about the 96%, which are just dance teachers and gym teachers?
Quiere saber si la Junta de Educación está al tanto de que hay varios maestros que faltan, aproximadamente el 4% de maestros no asisten regularmente y los alumnos piensan o sienten de que están perdiendo instrucción. Pasar el examen PAC es muy importante, pero cuando van a asistir a la universidad o a tomar el examen, las otras personas, los que dan el examen PAC o las de las oficinas de las universidades no saben de que los alumnos han perdido instrucción y que han estado todo ese tiempo, entre 2 o 3 meses, a veces con una maestra sustituta. Las maestras sustitutas a veces no dan una muy buena educación.
Yeah, excuse me. One of the things I didn't hear you say in Spanish, that we cannot discuss personnel issues in public. Could you say that in Spanish for once, please?
No podemos discutir asuntos personales o del personal docente en público.
Okay. So, speaking of grades, and since we're speaking about teachers, but you guys can't speak about teachers, which I do understand and I do respect, but what happens to our grades? We can have a 3.4 GPA, and then once our teachers are not here, our grades are not going in. And did you know that our grades are not going in? So then we drop to a 2.7 because we have a 27% in our grades.
Su preocupación principal es que muchas veces las calificaciones en sus libretas de calificaciones bajan cuando no han tenido una maestra y ven que su puntaje ha bajado.
Can I suggest, I appreciate, because I think some of the things you're talking about, we should talk to the superintendent privately. Now, my daughter goes here in 8th grade, and that's not how I understand the process works, that grades are not turned in. So I think there's some misunderstandings that I think it could be cleared up if you speak to the superintendent.
He would like for her to, a ella le gustaría que la señorita hablara en privado con el superintendente, y porque hay muchas de las cosas que no se pueden discutir en público, y el doctor Powell piensa de que no es la misma situación porque su hija asiste a la escuela secundaria y él no tiene la misma experiencia.
You're right, I can talk to the superintendent, but the superintendent is not always in my vision at all times. To be honest with you, like I said, with our grades, so what if I go to college and your jobs as teachers is to prepare? It doesn't only have to be teachers, it can be us students to prepare each other as well. But some students don't know the knowledge and cannot help everyone else as well.
Well, thank you for, I think we've reached the 5-minute limit, but thank you for your voice, and I would encourage you, you have some real concerns, to actually talk to the senior staff who can do something and respond. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you for your time. Someone who's next?
Sorry, I have to take a step back real quick.
Okay.
As I was saying, you guys, your job is to make New Brunswick a better place, generally, right? So how is that going to happen if you're taking teachers that are making New Brunswick a better place? For instance, I don't have Jennifer as a teacher, but she's my softball coach. And without her, I wouldn't have gotten an opportunity to be on the travel team, which is very famous in New Jersey. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have worked hard as I could. I'm sorry. Basically, I just want to, just to sum everything up, I don't agree with you guys firing her because she made a great difference in my life, and I only known her for a year. That's it.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you. We will discuss. But we appreciate your voice, and we appreciate your honesty, and we appreciate your emotion. Is there someone else? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Que no se siente, no está de acuerdo en que hayan despedido a la señora Sellers, porque ella ha dado un gran impacto en su vida y aprecia todo lo que ella hizo por la alumna que estuvo aquí.
Thank you, Chris. Yes, someone else would like to speak? You say your name and...
And the store, 12 Park Boulevard. I would like to congratulate all the young people, soon-to-be graduates, who were honored tonight with the New Jersey State Biodiversity Award. I also would like to take the opportunity of that ceremony to mention two things near and dear to my heart, which would be bilingual preschool, because I think if we're really committed to the whole idea of biliteracy and bilingualism and biculturalism and even multiculturalism, it should start in preschool, and also dual language programs. It's been discussed off and on over the years. Nothing ever really came of it that I know of up until now, unless there's something in the works I don't know about. But wouldn't it be great to see some children who were English only starting preschool standing up here getting this award when they graduate from high school? I think that would be wonderful.
Thank you.
La señora Stork quiere felicitar a todos los recipientes del sello de educación bilingüe del estado de New Jersey y también quiere agregar de que sería muy lindo de que haya educación bilingüe empezando desde el preescolar y que pongamos énfasis al programa dual. Want to address the question? We know it.
Yes, you may address the statement in regards to letting her know what our dual program for pre-K is and when we start. You may.
So I'm going to reply to Mrs. Stork's concern, the fact that she's requesting a preschool bilingual program. I am very happy to announce that this year we have started a bilingual preschool program in preschool grades 3 and preschool 4 for 4 years old. We have started a dual language program, and next year we're going to continue to roll it out, adding a first grade at Red Shoe School. We have started with 2 classes at Red Show, and now we have added pre-K and kindergarten, and then now we're adding 2 more classes for kindergarten. And we are including students who are bilingual, but also students who do not speak Spanish as a first language. Quiero decir de que ya hemos empezado este año, estamos muy orgullosos de anunciar de que tenemos un programa preescolar de educación bilingüe para los alumnos de P3 y de 4 años, y también para alumnos de kindergarten. El año que viene vamos a expandir el programa y vamos a agregar primer grado para este programa dual. Los alumnos van a estar integrados con niños que hablan inglés y también alumnos que no hablan inglés y hablan solamente español, y vamos a promover el aprendizaje de un segundo idioma.
I would like to say that makes me very happy. Glad I asked. Also that there's translation in these meetings again. That is huge. You mentioned, getting more community involvement and how great it is that people are staying, and so that's an important component. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Y está muy contenta de que se ofrezca servicios de traducción para que los padres puedan asistir y entender lo que está sucediendo.
Great, thank you. Are there any other comments?
Yes, I would like to say something about Play It Smart. I'm glad that that's a great program. My daughter was in Play It Smart, and I think it's wonderful. But I'm a little disappointed to find out that the scholar athletes don't come read to the kindergartners anymore. That was a fantastic program. Provided that the young people in question aren't struggling academically, I think it's a great advantage to come. Several of the scholar athletes mentioned to me they were wonderful with the kindergartners. And several of them expressed interest in a career in education where they hadn't really thought about it before. And also it's great for the kindergartners to see those kind of role models, to know that, these guys play soccer at the high school, and here they are doing a reading group with them.
Well, just to make you doubly happy, that is one of the things that we did discuss today in the Play It Smart, and having more of our Play It Smart athletes, young ladies and young men, as maybe part of their community service, go read to our kindergarten and pre-K students. When we had Read America Day at Lincoln Annex, in fact, several of the football players came down with their coach, Nate Harris, and they read to the students. And it was very interesting to watch the interaction between the kids just looking up at them kind of in awe, and the students, the older students themselves, and how much fun they had. So I think we did a double-double tonight to make you happy, and it's something that we're going to push even further next year.
So, la señora Stork estaba un poco preocupada porque le gustaría ver de nuevo el programa de atletas leyendo a los estudiantes en preescolar y en kindergarten. Efectivamente, La Junta de Educación hoy discutió lo importante que sería que los atletas continúen con este programa y es algo que va a continuar en el futuro. Como un hecho, este año los atletas fueron a leer en la escuela Lincoln y eso ha sido un gran éxito y se espera que van a continuar leyendo y proveyendo un modelo a seguir para los más pequeños.
Great, thank you.
I'm on a roll.
Yeah, we're almost at time, so, we're 5 minutes, so.
I can talk really fast. It's about the substitute situation. So I understand that the reason it was capped at the number it was because it was only meant, people from the agency are only meant to cover the district days that people are actually in district going to PD, which obviously doesn't do anything to address. Last year there were over 4,000 uncovered days, and that is huge. Anecdotally, I understand that this year the situation is pretty bad. And it's just so disruptive, and it seems like it's not a complicated fix. So I'm a little puzzled why we wouldn't attempt to cover all the days, because it's not just, I've said this before, it's not just the class, when a class isn't covered, if somebody was there, that even though, as the young ladies point out, it's not the same as having your teacher, but at least it doesn't disrupt the rest of the school.
Well, again, thank you for, you've made that point very eloquently in the past, but thank you for taking
Well,
that
I would
very
like
advice.
to know that something was being done about it for next year.
And I think our team is really looking at that very seriously, looking at how do we minimize the impact of substitutes. So we're working on it.
Okay.
There are a number of different solutions. So again, not to talk about here, but I would encourage you to talk directly, some details about some of the things we're doing. But thank you so very much.
But the decision would be made public here, right, to the public?
No.
What?
No, but operational
It's a big
things.
problem in the schools, so
All right.
if the public wants to know how it's going to be solved for next year, I think it would be a good thing to talk about.
And we have talked about those solutions. So thank you so very much for that. Is there anyone else who would like to speak?
So, la señora Stork, por último, quería hacer otro comentario acerca de los maestros sustitutos y que se han perdido aproximadamente 4,000 días de instrucción en total si se suman con todas las ausencias. La Junta de Educación ha proveído o está evaluando soluciones, ya se ha hablado de estas soluciones durante otras reuniones, pero se continúa buscando medidas para solucionar este problema.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
Yes, good evening, members of the board. Charles Cradaville, New Brunswick today. I want to start by congratulating all the award winners. It's a great thing you've done. I want to also thank Mr. Janaron for helping to work with me on a recent Oprah request. Appreciate your help with that. I also want to ask about this question through the chair to Mr. Janaron, who I believe prepares your meeting agendas. Why don't the meeting agendas include separate parts for public comments on the consent agenda and open questions from the public?
Rich, or George?
The board decided that it's an evolutionary process. We would do it all at once, so you can comment on the consent agenda or any other item you want to bring to the board's attention. And that the board has decided to do it that way.
Le gustaría saber por qué en la agenda no se incluyen los tópicos abiertos para discutir con el público antes de que se aprueben.
Okay, well, I just want to draw your attention to policy number 0164, adopted by this board in May of 2004. It's called Conduct of Board Meeting, and it does say that the order of business shall be as follows. It lists a number of items, and each of those items are on there separately. So you're deviating from your policies, and I would just encourage you to please show some leeway to the public, since I do have resolutions I'd like to speak about, but also open questions. So please respect that this change should not ultimately limit the ability of the public to voice their comments.
No one's limiting the public, Mr. Rattle. You're well aware of that within reason. If you had some other topic to talk on, you can get additional time. But that's 14 years old, and the board has evolved in the last, I'd say, at least 8 years. We've been doing it. Public comment on consent agenda or any other item they want to talk to. Should we amend the policy? Maybe we will over the summer.
Quiere llamar la atención a la resolución número 0164, que es de la Junta de Educación y da un número específico de resoluciones. Mayo 18 del 2004. La respuesta es de que ha pasado más de 10 años y se necesita volver para ver cuáles son esos temas.
So the first resolution I'd like to speak about is Resolution O. It's a terrific and I think a really excellent idea to change the name of Commercial Avenue to Robeson Boulevard to honor one of the most honorable people who've ever been in New Brunswick, Paul Robeson, and credit where credit's due to everyone who came up with that idea. As somebody who lives in that neighborhood, you have my full support, and I just want to know what else needs to be done for that to happen, who needs to sign off on it, and how can we make that happen.
Le gustaría recalcar que la resolución O de hacer a Paul Robinson un boulevard o llamar el boulevard Paul Robinson es una muy buena idea y le gustaría saber qué más puede hacer él para apoyar esta iniciativa.
Is there, Ed, you know the answer?
Yes, the only person who could change that would be the city council. It's not our property. We're just supporting the concept. Hopefully the city will do that.
No se puede dar comentarios, las únicas personas responsables serían del Consejo de la Ciudad.
Thank you, Mr. Hendricks. I would also like to address Resolution R, the amendment, extension of lease and the assumption of that lease by the Board of Ed. First question, can you tell me how much is the monthly rent and what is the term of the lease?
Me gustaría hablar acerca de la resolución R, que es acerca de un alquiler. Quiere saber cuánto se paga por ese alquiler y por cuánto tiempo está estipulado.
The term is 2 years and the monthly rent is approximately $60,000.
Es aproximadamente 2 años y se paga como $60,000.
So does this mean that the state, the school development authority is no longer going to be paying the rent, the board is going to have to start paying it, is that correct?
Esto significa que el Estado no va a pagar más esa renta y ahora la Junta de Educación o las escuelas públicas deben pagar eso.
It's not final yet. It's to be determined. The lease ends in December. We're just planning ahead, but we need the space if we have to pay for it. But if there's other projects the state is doing, they may be paying for the rent. Just trying to keep the space available to the district. So the answer is to be determined.
No es final, es para que sea determinado más adelante en el futuro.
Thank you. And you say that the district needs the space. What are the district's plans for it? Are there other schools that are going to be using it? I believe Robeson's going to be done with it soon, right?
Entonces, como ustedes dijeron, se necesita el espacio. Quiere saber qué es lo que se va a hacer con ese espacio si ahora Paul Robinson va a estar en la nueva ubicación.
As you're aware, the enrollment in New Brunswick is constantly growing, so we're preparing for that. However, there has been some preliminary discussions of possibly starting a vocational school, as well as a magnet school, and give our community other opportunities and choice for learning. But as Mr. Hendricks said, this is foresight planning, and we are still at the beginning of those stages.
Como todos saben, la inscripción de los alumnos continúa creciendo a diario. Hay muchas ideas. Una de las ideas sería convertir esta en una escuela vocacional o una escuela magneto que reciba alumnos de distintos lugares. También darle la oportunidad a los alumnos de que puedan elegir lo que quieran estudiar. Pero estamos en las etapas de planeamiento y es muy temprano para decir qué va a suceder con ese espacio.
I must qualify and apologize to the board that I haven't had that conversation with you, but you heard it, okay? I won't have it. Next time I won't answer that question, I just broke my rule. I didn't want to say no comment.
Quiere disculparse con la Junta de Educación que todavía no ha tenido la oportunidad de discutir este tema con todos los miembros de la Junta.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Sounds like a terrific idea, and I look forward to hearing more about it. I understand and respect that you can't speak about certain personnel issues in this forum, but what can you tell me about the status of Principal McGrone at the Livingston School and the future of that position?
I'll let our attorney.
Yeah, he retired, so there's an opening and the board's going to be looking to replace him.
Él está muy enterado de que no se pueden discutir temas de situaciones personales acerca de los directivos o del personal docente, pero quiere saber qué es lo que va a suceder ahora con el director Negrón. La respuesta es que él se ha retirado, se va a jubilar y ya se están poniendo las siguientes etapas para cubrir su posición.
Thank you. Does anyone know the effective date of the retirement? Has it already happened or is it in the future?
¿Alguien sabe cuál es la fecha efectiva de su jubilación?
He's actually submitted his letter, we accepted it, but he has accumulated sick days, so his actual last payday is, I think, this summer, July, end of July.
Como tiene muchos días de enfermedad acumulados, el último día con pago va a ser en julio.
Thank you, Mr. Hendricks. Another issue I want to address is the water testing. I want to thank Mr. Spencer for the report on the past. However, I recall at the February 20th meeting, Mr. Spencer indicated that there was testing of the water, I presume for lead and or copper, underway at that time. Now, tonight, we're hearing that the testing is going to happen this summer. For the record, has any testing been done thus far in 2018?
La pregunta tiene que ver con las evaluaciones de agua que se han hecho en el distrito. De acuerdo con el último reporte en febrero 20, estas evaluaciones de agua estaban llevándose a cabo, pero ha habido nueva información hoy.
Has any testing been done in 2018?
Ha sido más evaluaciones de agua realizadas últimamente en este momento.
I believe what Mr. Spencer is saying is that the testing project is underway in terms of going out, looking at vendors, getting the information and getting everything prepared to be able to test in the summer.
Se están realizando evaluaciones y están en etapas de planeamiento para tratar de hacer más evaluaciones en el verano.
So just to be clear for the record, there haven't been samples taken yet this year.
Se han tomado muestras de agua, quiere saber si es que no se las han tomado.
Frankly, I can't tell you yes or no. Mr. LaDolce would correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the answer is no.
No puede decir sí o no porque el señor Dolce tendría la respuesta, pero él piensa que es no.
Thank you, Mr. General. I'll follow up with Mr. LaDolce. The last issue I want to address briefly is the long-term tax exemption that the City Council is considering. They are holding a hearing tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. in City Hall. The biggest problem with this proposed tax break for the developer is that it includes no required contribution from that developer to the school system. I just read in the Home News Tribune that Denellen is in the process of approving similar agreements, but in their agreements they're insisting that both of the developers that they're going to give tax exemptions to are going to be required to contribute a portion of their payment in lieu of taxes to their borough's school system. And I think that's a common sense thing to insist upon. If you're going to give a favorable tax deal to frankly, a wealthy out-of-state developer, that they should be required at the very least to support the schools financially and have some of that payment in lieu of taxes go to the school system. So I would encourage everyone here to join me and other concerned residents tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. in City Hall to raise this point and to make sure that a bad agreement is not approved. The proposed agreement is 30 years long, so it could be a huge mistake if an agreement is approved that requires zero funding for the school system. It's something that can lead to financial problems for the district down the road. I know Mr. Hendricks explained his view on these things, but that's a view that's based on the current school funding formula. It's a formula that may well change in the next 30 years, and it's also, I think, just important to note that if there's a pilot approved, some of that pilot could either go to the schools or not. So we should support having some of it go to the schools. If they're going to give the developer a tax break, I think everybody here should get behind the idea that the schools deserve some of that payment. And so I hope you'll do what you can to persuade the City Council not to approve a bad agreement.
Thanks, Charlie. Thanks for your comments. We'll definitely take that.
Thank you. I'll wait for the translation.
So, su preocupación es acerca de las exenciones de los impuestos a largo plazo. Él está diciendo que mañana va a haber una reunión en la municipalidad de la ciudad a las 6:30 p.m. Le gustaría invitar a todos los residentes de New Brunswick para que asistan a esta reunión. Es muy importante para que todas las compañías que están construyendo en la ciudad de New Brunswick paguen cierta cantidad de impuestos para que puedan beneficiar a las escuelas públicas y si todos participan y hacen valer su voz, podríamos ver beneficios para las escuelas públicas de New Brunswick.
Right. Thank you. Are there any other comments?
My name is Maria. My name is Lainey. My name is Emily. My name is Naomi. My name is Christopher.
Estos alumnos están para apoyar a la profesora Severs.
So I came to ask a question. I'm not asking why she got fired or stuff like that, but she's been a good teacher. You shouldn't fire her because she's been doing her best to improve our grades, and she teaches us beyond the lesson. And right now, she improves us, and
Thank you.
Está aquí para cuestionar por qué se despidieron a la señorita Severs, pero quiere decir que fue una buena maestra y que nos ayudó tremendamente.
you guys asked for a teacher that helps others develop their scores and life skills. Well, Miss Evers goes beyond that. She helps her kids in certain ways that helps them physically do life skills and real life, and uses like social studies programs that help them in real life. And she also does things that helps her kids to improve their scores. She's not that type of teacher that just says, oh, do whatever you work and hand out a worksheet and doesn't even help them. She's a person who goes beyond where she should go and helps her kids improve in her scores, like telling them what they need to do and giving a certain percentage that's needed on a certain test.
La señora Severs ayuda mucho a los alumnos, no simplemente le da paquetes para que escriban, pero les enseña habilidades que pueden usar en la vida y los ayuda a mejorar sus calificaciones.
Any other comments? I appreciate you coming and speaking and sharing your honest thoughts.
Muchas gracias por haber venido y por haber compartido sus pensamientos honestos.
Any other comments?
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you for your time. I appreciate you speaking up. All right, and now, do I hear a motion to accept the consent agenda? Is it a second? A roll call, please.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood. Mrs. Chikaitis.
Yes, abstain on items I.
Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer.
Yes.
Ms. Varela.
Yes.
Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Wonderful. And then item number 15, the Finance Committee report. Mrs. Sadowski. Bless you. Bless you.
The Finance Committee also met earlier this afternoon, and I need a motion to accept the resolution to accept the finance report.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood. Mrs. Chikaitis.
Yes.
Noted. Mrs. Solis. Mr. Spencer.
Yes, abstain on page 5.
Ms. Varela. Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Item number 16, the resolution for a closed session. I'll read the resolution for a closed session and we'll vote on it. Whereas the Open Public Meeting Act, NJSA 10:4-6, provides that certain matters of a public body may be discussed in closed session, and whereas the Board of Education intends to discuss matters as follows: personnel matters, matters of attorney-client privilege. Now therefore be it resolved that the aforesaid subject shall be discussed in closed session by this Board of Education and administrative staff, and the minutes of said closed session discussion will be made available to the public when the reasons for the non-disclosure in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act no longer exist. Is there a motion? Second. Roll call.
Mrs. Sadowski.
Yes.
Mrs. Seawood.
Yes.
Mrs. Chikaitis. Mrs. Solis.
Yes.
Mr. Spencer. Ms. Varela. Mr. Ortiz.
Yes.
Motion, Dr. Caldwell.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Great. We are now in closed session.